Hey y'all, good morning. I hope y'all got y'all something to sip on. And let's get into this video. Hey y'all, and welcome back to Coffee Kids and Convos. It is currently 6:01 on the clock. And y'all, we had to bring this back to morning time. So I got my coffee and my new coffee cup. Yeah, I like it. It's cute. I like Stitch. But I'm giving y'all a chance to grab y'all something to sip on. And let's tune into this. I wrote down some things because I felt like these were personal things for me that was relatable for y'all. So the first one, thinking softness equals weakness. And that's just how I used to think. And that's not true. Um, yeah, just to dabble in that a little bit. Because you're soft don't mean you're weak. Just because you're soft spoken doesn't mean you're weak. Um, a lot of people just hold stuff in. A lot of people aren't people, if that makes sense. But some people, how can I explain it? Like put on an act, a performance in front of other people, like when they're in public and talking to other people and stuff like that. So nobody will judge them and they won't seem weak. And I used to do that. And that's not what we're doing this year. I wrote feeling like I had to be strong all the time. Y'all, this was my biggest one. Okay. As the oldest daughter, and just the background that I grew up with, I just felt like you had to be strong. I just felt like I had to be strong for everyone else, which don't make sense, but kinda in my mind it did at the time, because as the oldest, you want to, seem mature. You want to be there for everybody. You want to understand the adults' emotions. You want to be able to relate and relate to everyone, stuff like that. And that's dangerous, feeling strong, having to feel like you're making yourself feel like you're strong, the strong one all the time. It's kind of dangerous. You get to a blowout point, and you need to check on your strong friends. Okay, I wrote guarded slash defensive energy. I had this one real bad also, and I just didn't like seeing my kids mirror that behavior. Like, excuse me. I wrote okay, guarded slash defensive energy. Like listening to them have my kids have little arguments and stuff about the game or sports or whatever they're playing. They argue about everything. So listening to them in the way they argue and stuff like that. My youngest son always felt like he had the defensive energy by being the youngest. He felt, oh, he got to talk tough. He don't need to cry or stuff like that in front of it. Like with his big brother, every single time they argue, and that's not the case. Baby, you're 8. It's okay to show your emotions, and there's no reason to sit there and be defensive all the time. And he half the time he's not even, like, my oldest son wasn't even having any ill intentions like with him, but he was so used to seeing that and being tense. I keep doing that because that's what I was meaning. Like, he used to be tense a lot, and I did too. And yeah, once you see that in your kids, you try to fix that real fast in yourself because it don't look good. I wrote not wanting to be taken advantage of. Y'all, y'all know that's a big one. Nobody ever want anybody to take advantage of them. And a lot of times it be in our head. When you're around a good person, a genuine person, like, you can feel it. I'm not saying go around trust everybody you meet and be very trustworthy towards everyone. No, that's not what I'm saying. But you have discernment. you'll have a feeling, and most of the times that feeling is right. So I just feel like if you feel that you're gonna be taken advantage of, get yourself out of that situation. Even with friendships, y'all, I done been there with friendships, and yeah, you just gotta skedaddle. When you feel like you're getting taken advantage of, your advice, your money, your time, whatever the case may be, go. We're not doing that. Also, like I said, from my background, my upbringing, I just had that survival mode mindset. And that's not cute on a lady. I get it if you I get it if you're single, like living alone. That's understandable. That's very understandable, especially if you got kids. But that wasn't the life for me anymore. You know, I am married. I don't have my ring on right now, but y'all, I got up and I got the necessities and I could push it. But anyways, see, I get distracted. Back to the topic. That survival mode mindset is just it's kind of hectic. It's just a constant gibber going on in your mind. From my experience, I'm speaking from my experience only, y'all. But it's just kind of like it's just too much going on in your mind at once. You're trying to make sure of this. You're trying to make sure you're not getting taken advantage of. You're trying to make sure you know nobody run over you. You're trying to make sure all of this stuff instead of just having a good day. So to sum it up, I didn't feel like that I could relax into softness. Why that mindset developed? Let's get into that. I wrote, oops, from my past experiences, I basically, from my past experiences, I feel like hurt, um, dishonesty, what I read, disappointment, trust issues, all that tie into it. And when that's constantly happening to you, when it's a cycle and that's constantly happening, that messes with your mindset. That's a developing thing that happens. You're not even understanding. You at the beginning stages of survival mode. It's already the wheel turning. It's going, it's going, it's going. And you're not even realizing that you are already getting into survival mode. And then sometimes there's no need for it. Feeling like you always had to hold things together. And that kind of ties into me being the oldest sibling. Just want to make sure everyone around me happy, make sure all my siblings happy, my parents happy. If you just come over, my auntie, whatever, just making sure everybody happy. I'm making sure we laughing, we enjoying ourselves, all that type of stuff. Fear of being misunderstood or overlooked. Now, for me, it was the misunderstanding. I always felt like nobody understood me. Nobody could relate to me. Nobody been through what I've been through. That's a lot. So I didn't want to be misunderstood. I didn't want to be overlooked. So it's time to fix that. It was time to fix that. So now we're gonna get into what I'm learning now. Okay. The now, the present. Um, softness is softness is emotional safety, not silence. I can protect my emotions. I don't have to be riled up. I don't have to be upset or anything. If I'm in my soft element, if I'm just feeling soft, there's no need for all of that. You can be gentle and clear. So yeah. Um, I'm kind of strict, just a little bit. But I had to realize I don't have to be stern, in my voice, in my deliverance when I say stuff. Like, I can just talk soft. I can talk nice and sweet like I usually do. Not that much effort of energy, overexerting myself or nothing like that. Not putting on a performance, just being myself, genuinely self. And, and things are more smooth. I don't have to always add an attitude. I don't have to go like this every time. I don't have to roll my eyes. I don't have to do it. You don't have to do it. You can be gentle and clear and let them know you mean what you said. Yeah. You don't have to
You can
react to everything. Yeah. Ooh, I ate myself up right in this one. My big thing was always reacting. My big thing was always having something to say. I just felt like everything could have a response. And I would say the response. Like, it's none of my business. Okay. It's none of your business, but you said something. Little smart mouth. That's not cute. That's not cute. Especially, like I said before, when you see it in your kids, or if you hear it in your kids, they don't learn that, and then they saying that to their other siblings and stuff. Not flying. We're not tearing each other down. We're not disrespecting each other. Mm-mm. So I have to fix my mouth. I have to fix what I say, my actions and stuff like that, and let them know I don't play that. You don't play that. We're not playing it. So yeah, everything just don't need a reaction out of you. I wrote peace over proving a point. Y'all, I choose peace over any day. I choose peace. I always choose peace. I didn't used to. I used to be the you don't okay, I'm gonna give y'all some examples. Some real examples, not no made up examples of what this looks like in real life for me. Responding instead of reacting. A simple, like I said, okay, it don't really matter. I'm with whatever, just a response. Instead of getting upset that had to tell your husband for the third time in 5 minutes that it doesn't matter what you want to eat. You just want to eat some food. And then he come the fourth time and he asks you what you want to eat, then just respond instead of reacting. And a lot of times that could be easier said than done. Trust me, I know. But is it worth it? Is it worth messing up your energy? No. Choosing calm conversations over arguments. The last one kind of ties into this one. Just if you see somebody upset and stuff like that, there's no need to go to them and ask obvious questions to provoke them or nothing like that. Say some kind words or just choose to change the subject. Talk about something that'll calm them down, something that, make them happier, something like that. I wrote letting go of needing to win. Okay. They kind of all tie into each other. There's no point of always having to win the argument, always having to win the conversation. It's just, as you get older, who cares? um, being more patient with your kids. So I said in a lot of these examples I used my kids, but they were those were real examples, and just having the patience with them, not telling them, oh, you do what they saying. You do as I say, not as I do. I don't like that. I couldn't even think of the saying. We're not over here. I've heard it before to me, but we can't. We gotta lead by example first off, and just give kids grace. We want grace, and we want them to give us grace. We gotta give them grace. They're kids. That's their learning. Just like us, we didn't know how to be parents. If you're a parent, if you're an auntie, we didn't know how to be an auntie. We know how to do none of that. It don't come with a manual. So give these kids some patience and grace. Creating a peaceful environment instead of tension. And that kind of ties to all the things that I just said. There's no need to be sitting there arguing every day. There's no need for the air to be so thick, intense, that the kids can feel it. There's no reason they should. They're precious, they're innocent. Like, just make your environment your peace. And that's what I like to do. My environment, as y'all can see, is my peace. This is why I feel relaxed. This is why I feel comfortable. I feel chill when I come. I can get a clear thought. Like, instead of tension, just choose peace. I wrote the balance. Soft does not equal letting things slide. Soft does not equal losing your voice. Soft does not equal people pleasing. That's a big one. It don't mean that. Boundaries are still necessary. As I stated before, you still have to have boundaries as a woman, as a mom, as an individual. You still have to have boundaries, no matter who you are. I'm soft, but I'm not silent anymore. Let me tell you that. Growth and patience and peace. So I mentioned on the last episode about the book of Habakkuk in the Bible. And I still suggest everyone go read it. It's just, it's very relatable to the different seasons that we go through. And during that time of just what that man was going through, Habakkuk, the prophet, he just had to have patience, basically. God gave him the peace. God gave him the understanding when he asked. During all those trials and tribulations, when he was questioning things, God was giving him answers. Sometimes you have to ask to receive. Hey. Um, and like I said, overall, like Habakkuk, learning to trust even while questioning. Just go with it. If you believe in God, you know He got you. It may be uncomfortable, maybe unrecognizable. You don't know, but we can't always wrap our mind around what God does. He sees the bigger picture. Okay, so you better get into position and trust Him, cause you're never there. Trying to tell y'all, I'm trying to tell y'all. And this is the faith part of the video to my spiritual people. Softness can come from trust, not control. And if you know, then you know. We don't control nothing. If you trust the Lord, His timing is always the perfect time. It's always the right timing. And yeah, you shouldn't just be worrying. Give Him your trust and lose self-control because we can't control nothing anyway. No. And in closing, I think a lot of us learn how to be strong, but we're still learning how to be soft in a healthy way. You don't have to lose yourself to become a softer version of yourself. You really don't. And my question for y'all today, do you struggle more with being too guarded or too giving? Do you struggle with being too guarded or too giving? Y'all but let me know in the comments. I'm gonna answer that question real quick before I end this. For me, I used to struggle with being too guarded. I'm not gonna lie. When I was kind of in that selfish, only me and my phone, no more. But now I struggle with being too giving. I give chances, I give money, I give advice, I give time and whatever people need because it just does something to my heart. And sometimes people can take advantage of it. But let me know what y'all think. Let me know. Well, what y'all struggle with. And y'all can let me know what y'all think too about what I said about my struggle. And y'all, do not forget, we doing this thing called life together. One sip at a time. And I will see y'all next week. Make sure y'all like, subscribe, and comment. Follow me on Instagram. Follow me on TikTok. See y'all later.